Well, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing amazing. So in this gameplay video, we're gonna be playing Buzzwole, but we're also gonna talk about the buffs and nerfs which went down yesterday. And I've been playing like a madman ever since, testing out these balance changes to actually see whether they make any difference or not. So we actually saw some significant changes being made to Zacian and Glaceon, which I think were absolutely fundamental in terms of balancing out the meta. And the meta is finally quite balanced. I mean, you can do well with pretty much any Pokemon now, but there is still a loophole in that balance. Because now I think the problem isn't about these Pokemons like Zacian and Glaceon. We don't have many broken Pokemons in the meta right now. But now the problem is that nobody knows what to do in the match. As I said that I've been playing like a madman ever since these balance changes came out, and I've actually tested out all the buffed Pokemons like Buzzwole, Dragonite, Aegislash and also Azumarill. What I've actually discovered is that these changes doesn't make much of a difference. They kinda do, because you get those statistic boosts. We get statistic boosts for Buzzwole. We get statistic boosts for Aegislash and also Dragonite. But the real problem we are still facing is that people don't know how to play in solo queue. I mean, I've tested all these Pokemons in the master rank, and I'm actually shocked to my core that people really don't know how to play. They would take their Pokemon into the top or bottom path, and then they would just abandon their path and they would start stealing from their jungler. It happened to me in a match. I was actually recording that match and then I just stopped. It was so cringe to watch, I just can't even describe how ridiculous that was. And I was actually planning to make different videos for each Pokemon that was buffed, but it was really hard to get a good gameplay on my own. So I'm recording this one, I'm talking over it, so I don't know how this one's gonna go, but we have a supporter, so I hope this is not gonna go as bad as the other ones. So this is actually one of the problems that I've seen, that people don't know how to play throughout the match. And the second problem that we're facing right now is people do not really know what Pokemon to pick. I have actually played so many matches where I chose either of these all-rounders, and my teammates actually, instead of going with any of the defender or the supporter, I was, for example, Buzzwole in a match, and my teammates were Gardevoir, Greninja, and Sejuani, just like that. They were all attackers. There wasn't even a single defender in a team, and this has happened in so many different games. Majority of these matches without a defender or a supporter. So I think I'm gonna make a separate video where I'm going to address all these problems that are going on with Pokemon Unite right now. And for now, I think we're gonna talk about only these buffs and nerfs. I mean, there's not much to talk about the nerfs. However, I'm gonna talk about the buffs here. I'm actually gonna give you guys a really short answer to the question: are these buffs enough for these Pokemons? Now, first let's talk about Buzzwole. Buzzwole got a buff to the Leech Life, but honestly, Leech Life is really bad, especially in solo queue. Absolutely struggle with that move. It is just really bad. So I'm really not gonna go into details as why it is bad, but it's just bad, so really avoid that. And other than that, we got some stats buffs with the Buzzwole, and just a tiny buff with superpower. Apart from that, Buzzwole is still the same. Now let's talk about Aegislash. Aegislash got a buff with its stats. Its defense and special defense got increased, and its Shadow Claw got a pretty nice buff, but it's still not good enough. I've tested it in so many different games. As I've mentioned earlier, I didn't really get really good teammates. I didn't really get much of the support. But even in some matches where I felt like I got the support of my team, that move was still not really good enough. All these Pokemons can actually really struggle in the early game. They do well in the late game, but they can really struggle in the early phases of the game. Like with Aegislash, as long as you don't have your White Guard, Aegislash gonna struggle really hard because Aegislash is really squishy. So this is the problem with Aegislash. But as soon as you get your White Guard, I think this Pokemon becomes an absolute beast in my opinion. But the early game disadvantage is just too much, and if you're not taking this Pokemon to the jungle, you're really gonna have a hard time. But I had a game where I took Aegislash into the bottom lane, and I actually struggled for the majority of the game. But despite that struggle, I outperformed my opponents in the final stretch of the match. So this has a really great potential in the late game, but it's just your personal opinion whether you want to struggle with that Pokemon in the early stages of the game or not. Because I don't think your teammate who has a Decidueye or a Zoroark would let you jungle with Aegislash. Now if we talk about Dragonite, so Dragonite got pretty decent buffs, and it was also doing pretty good even before the buffs. So for Dragonite, I must say the buffs are really nice, and Azumarill is still in a little bit of that weird spot in the meta. It does really well against single opponents, and then it doesn't really do well against multiple opponents because of its ability. So that was just a little overview, and now let's get back to the game. I mean, look at that Clefable. What was it doing? If I'm a supporter, you know, my job is to stay with my teammates as much as possible, because if I stay with my teammates, they stay alive. I keep them alive. I keep healing them, and if I'm healing them and they stay alive, it means I stay alive, because as a supporter, I know I'm not capable of doing that much of damage. So I don't know why that Clefable was roaming on its own there. So just I don't know what to say, man. Right, we get that. Oh shit. Yeah, no way I survived that. I mean, I looked back and there was no one, and then I looked back again, and then there was everyone there just to knock the whip out of me. Okay, so good thing is that our whole team's at the bottom path. Finally something positive. Okay, one of us goes down, two of theirs go down. Oh, nice. Me and Dragonite were having a really good time together. So now let's see if we can melt this. Wow, now look at that. Why would you? Wow. Oh wow. It's a good it's a good supporter. I'm not gonna say that Clefable has done a bad job in this game, but it has done some mistakes. Like it shouldn't have based at home at that point. I mean, we could have needed the support of Clefable there. Now let's see what happens here. Their whole squad is gonna rush over me. Did my Unite do nothing? Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I died to the burn effect of Chandelure. I was like a millimeter away from landing on my goalpost. It could have prevented me from going down. But I think we can easily get that Rayquaza. I don't think I'm gonna make it on time, but the Decidueye gets it, so finally a good team. And the surrender. Okay. It has been really hard, guys. I swear. I don't know if you guys have faced this problem, This is the fastest I've reached Master ever. Like, it took me about 28 matches, I think. Yeah, it took me 28 matches to reach Masters. But ever since I'm in Masters, I've played around 15 to 16 matches so far, up till now, and I've only won like 2 or 3 of them. It has been just really hard, and I've been just surrendering in those matches. I've surrendered in so many matches, not because that I actually want to surrender or I actually prefer to surrender during a match, but just because my team plays so bad. I just don't want to play that match anymore. I don't care about winning or losing if I'm not having fun. So that's why I surrender in those matches. So this was the build for Buzzwole. I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay and agreed with my opinions about what's going on in Pokemon Unite. I'm gonna make a separate video where I'm going to talk in depth about these problems that we're having and how we can potentially fix them. So please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you do not miss an update when that video comes out. I would need all of your guys' support so that we can make this game better. So I'll be back soon with that video. Until then, you guys take care and have fun in Pokemon Unite.